Another factor that you need to consider is water. Okay, as well. Similar to electricity, water as well. There are certain businesses that need a lot of water, like your mining, your agriculture. You need a lot of water, or the businesses that are cutting, where they use water to cool down the source. So you need to understand the importance of water. Make sure that you have water license if you're operating a farm or you're mining. If you want to sink a borehole, you need a water license. You don't for business, you need a water license. So make sure that you have the necessary water licenses for you to operate, because you can decide to set up a farm somewhere and you find that you can't get a water license. That means you can't irrigate your produce. It's one of the things that you need to consider as an entrepreneur. But not all businesses they need to take water into consideration. It's not important for all businesses, but there are certain businesses that they need to apply in mind. Do they have sufficient water rights? Do they have sufficient water from the municipal pipelines? If not, then make sure that you go to a location where you have access to sufficient water if your operations is reliant on water. There are businesses that you can have water, but the water is not sufficient. So you need to know, if you have sunk the borehole, you need to know the capacity of the borehole in relation to your operations. Because you can have a borehole, but only find that the area that you are in, it doesn't produce enough water. I remember there are certain projects that I worked on where the access to water, sufficient water, it's a problem. And the project failed because they can't have access to sufficient water. So it's one of the things that, most especially if you are in farming or mining or heavy industrial that needs water in their process, to make sure that you analyze the water needs, you analyze the water in the area, and make sure that your business got sufficient water to operate efficiently. And now we're going to go into the video, the practical guide in terms of other businesses. We're using the 3 case studies, which is the McDonald's, the AEY, and the Auckland A's. So here's the video on this topic. Enjoy. So we're just trying to make sure that we practicalize the lesson using these case studies. Enjoy the video.
Water. Depending on the nature of the organization, certain organizations require more water than others. Consulting requires less water compared to farming that requires a lot of water. To use water for commercial purposes requires a water usage license if it's not from the municipality. In South Africa, water rights are a challenge. The department is strict in issuing water licenses and it takes long to get a water license. If your organization requires a water license to operate, you need to make sure you secure sufficient water before making a significant investment.
Water is critical, but fast food operations like McDonald's does not consume a lot of water. McDonald's requires water for its operations, for cooking and housekeeping. Water is critical for a food business. It cannot operate without access to water. However, access to water is not a major consideration on where to locate a fast food operation.
EIA uses limited water. Water is not a major consideration. Water required by AEY is just for housekeeping.
Water is critical for the A's to maintain the training facility and the playing ground. Organization that water is critical like it is for the A's. It needs to ensure that it has made the necessary investigation and confirmation that sufficient water is available. It takes long to secure water rights. It is therefore critical for entrepreneurs to secure water earlier on in their project before outlay. Complete the assignment. Compare how the topic is addressed in the 3 movies and rank them according to your preference on how the characters and the organizations dealt with the topic and motivate your ranking, 1 being the best and 3 the worst. Analyze this topic and its applicability to your situation and industry. Write up your analysis to meet the requirement of the industry you're operating in. Update the relevant section in your business plan.